Trooper standing by. Trooper reporting for duty. Drop your weapons. Oof, I need a weapon. Fight for the Empire. Reporting for duty, Commander.
Welcome to Mongo's Back's Hawaii channel. Yes, we're doing a take two. Cool stuff. Like, subscribe. It'll make things a little smoother. Like, no clicking. Well, there's lots happening in the news kind of thing with stuff.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
If you go to... Oh, wait. If you go to the international news, the battle for Armageddon has begun. Israel and Palestine over the Gaza Strip have always been fighting. They're lobbing bombs.
Trooper standing by.
And blowing up buildings on the Palestinian side. The Palestinians are lobbing rockets to the Tel Aviv side. And the Prime Minister of Israel is going, "Oh, you haven't seen the last of it yet. There's gonna be war." And they're trying to cool it down. They're talking to the Palestinian person, and the news commentator was sitting there asking her, he's like, "Well, what about, shouldn't you just stop fighting for the people on the ground?" The lady's like, look, you're supposed to be asking the questions, and I'm supposed to be talking. You know? Apparently she wasn't feeling that. She's getting her point across. So if you flip to the US side of the news, there's a different kind of Armageddon. It's called the Civil War inside the Congress, between the House and the Senate and all that stuff. They dropped Liz Cheney from the political seat, or political seat of power. So she's like, "I'm going to make sure that Trump's never going to get reelected." And Trump's tweeting or whatever he's doing, sending carrier pigeons. Liz is a very bitter human, and she's horrible, most horrible, you know, that kind of stuff. And yeah, so it's all crazy. But this is news. Listen, can you hear it? This is news, people. Yeah, this is what we look. This is where we look inside the newspaper, which is all over the place right now. And terrible news for Hawaii. It's kind of sad. It's kind of shocking, but I have to go through it really fast. Colt Brennan, our football quarterback, recent star quarterback, has died. It's an overdose thing. He was about 34, pretty sure. And so it's all over the papers, of course. So headline is, okay. Oh, Jesus. And what else, man? Okay, so yeah, that's about the size of it. I don't know. It's kind of sad, but I didn't know the guy or nothing, but sad nonetheless. Terrible to see that. You know, you don't hear about the bad guys, you just hear about the good guys getting to get it. But, you know, hey, You know, when you're an athlete and stuff like that, you're a big athlete and you can take lots of whatever substance or drink lots. You're like, yeah, man, I can drink in the table because I'm a runner or whatever type of, you know. Here's what I found out when I thought about it after I gave up the drink, or the drink gave me up. Here's the human body. Now, inside the skeleton stuff, there's like internal organs. They're all the same size, basically the same for everybody. Inside, you know, heart, lungs, and this kind of stuff, and guts inside. Guts. Now, when you're an athlete or whatever, and you can drink more or use more substance, you think the internal organs are still the same size. They're getting double dose, so it's dangerous. Little PSA. Don't drink it with drugs. I'm sorry, Colt, you died. And there was the potentially spanking the lot. Spirit to spank thee? Spirit to spank me, oh my gosh. I'm going to hell. Accidentally. Latin mistakes. Okay, get on with it. 1980. Back in the day, 1978. Japanese firefighters demonstrate Kadga Tobi skills in Alamona Shopping Center to show how balance and acrobats can help firemen in a pinch. So look at this. It's like top of a ladder. But you know, hey, you know, if you're like the fireman, oh, I mean, out of here, the fire's burning up on the 6th floor over here. Get the ladder, balance, do the kaga. You go, yeah. So there it is. Back in the day, and now it's turned into something like rodeo. That's how rodeo stuff came about. They learn all the skills for the cattle, and then all of a sudden they're doing shows. Alright, now they're investigating this, they're investigating that. What the heck? Oh, hold on, life science medical cannabis license pulled. Yeah, they pulled their license because it was like their doctor wasn't so much of a doctor. I said, doctor, is it something I can take? So yeah, man, what you got? Headache? Here, here's a script. I got anxiety. Sure, I got a toenail. Okay, Big Q. Do you support the $2,200 bonuses for each of Hawaii's public school teacher funded by the federal COVID funds? 9% mixed. Okay with bonus, but smaller amount. 25%. Yes, teachers overcame a lot. 66%. No, misdirected from students' learning. 2/3. 66%. No, misdirected from students. Oh, the money. Oh, I thought they were talking about the teachers. No, give it. Oh, they wouldn't give it to the students. I don't know. They don't support the teachers. No matter how much they say in the oh yes, keikis, feature for the keikis, and nothing but the best. You have to support the teachers to do that, and they don't support the teachers. That's why I'm not doing that. Gummy cannabis outdo friendlies on. So if you're going to do the cannabis edibles, do the gummy cannabis. I don't know. Apparently that's quite in the news all the place. Back in the day, the sports section, of course, we have Colt. Oh man, Colt. Oh, Colt at the guy. But you know what's kind of cool is he was the kind. Colt. Oh. Sad. But he did give the little kids autographs, right? So, you know, support the fans. It comes, hey, sign this. Sign my hat. Sign the ball. Sign the program. Sign my shirt. Sign this. Sign my hand. He said, get away from me, everybody. Alright. This is part 2. I'm waiting for something else, dude. This stuff. Okay. Letters to the editor. Give Aloha Stadium land to Hawaiians. I write to follow up on your excellent article on, quote, government, unquote, land that was released but not offered to the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, DHHL. Promised Land, article May 7th, as well as recent articles on the redevelopment of Aloha Stadium. As I recall, the U.S. Navy released the land under and around the stadium as long as it was used for public purposes. Now we see efforts by the state and developers to use the site for for-profit, public-private partnership. Was this land ever offered to DHHL? And if not, why do we not offer it now? Like, the gates are open, huh? It's time we met our obligation to Native Hawaiians. Jack Gilmore, Pololo Valley. Well, I guess that. I wish I would see smiling faces when they take away the masks. We're skipping that. Mayor's appearance appears to be a disappointment. I'm going to skip this one too. He showed up, he only spoke for 7 minutes. The Chinatown's like, yeah, 7 minutes, you gotta go away. What? Here. Use Federal Antitrust Act to break up Facebook on May 15th, 1911. World War I almost happened yet. It was before World War I. The U.S. Supreme Court, applying the Sherman Trust Act, broke up Standard Oil Company and New Jersey into 34 companies because it was ruled a monopoly. The same reason that for that action should be applied to Facebook. Facebook exercises power by prohibiting Donald Trump from expressing his views on Joe Biden's actions as president. Facebook uses an oversight board of 20 members to give it cover for such action. The board is comprised of 15 foreigners and 5 Americans. You know where this is going. Other countries of the world don't have the same freedom of speech as we have. So they can't possibly be qualified to determine what should be allowed. Foreigners. They don't know what they're talking about, freedom of speech, especially when the subject is American politics. Obviously, the board providing cover for Facebook's actions should not exempt the company from being broken up using the Sherman Antitrust Acts. William Reynolds Capellet. First off, the way corporations now, mega corporations, and how they're affiliated, and then they kind of conglomerate and the acquisitions and all this kind of stuff. They're giant, and they're like a giant octopus instead of like one monolith monopoly. So they probably couldn't be taken down by Sherman Antitrust Act even if they tried. They do need something different to break up the giant freaking things. But 2, underneath that, what the hell? You don't know anything about freedom of speech because you're from another country. William Reynolds, Capellet. Yeah, you go back, watch Fox News. I ain't dealing there no more. Democrats shine light on reality of racism. John Ferdy demonized the Democratic Party for trying, because they demonocrat? Oh, for trying to call action to 400 years of white supremacy, racism, and exclusion for people of color in America. Article May 6. Perhaps he doesn't like it at the same time. Wait, so he doesn't like it that the time has finally come to face up to the real history of our nation and not the white revisionist one. John Kitchen, Kona. History is the closest documentation that we can look at, the closest knowledge that we can gain of past events to the truth. I say that because revisionists can be good, revisionists can be bad. So if it's all fake and one-sided, and you come up with new evidence and you have a balanced picture, that's revisionist, and it's good. This is the case if you're talking about revisionist history, you're talking about it's simply biased. It hasn't been revised, so it's biased. That's not revisionist. Just to point that out. Anyways, yeah, get them. Rare. Slavery existed. Yeah, it did. The things were brutal. And you know there was good forms. There was, like, you could say good slavery, bad slavery in a sense. There is slavery where they're happy to be there and they were treated well. And then there's the bad slavery, which we mostly hear about, which is the whip and chain and killing and lynching and things. But there's actually plantations where they're like, you're free, you can go free now. We don't want to go. We're fine here. This is good stuff. I don't know. I mean, and plus it's the 1800s. Way different. Just look at funeral. History. There's a lot of different stories in history, so it's not just lumped up in one big whap. Just so you know. Well, thanks. Have a great Wednesday. I'm late now, and it doesn't matter. What can go wrong? Armageddon? Hey, hang loose. It's all good.